My name's Janelle, and I'm an alcoholic. I have a sobriety date of September the 27th, 2017. And for that day, I'm eternally grateful. I was introduced to the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous a little over 10 years ago. But I wasn't ready to admit that I too may be an alcoholic or that I was different from my peers. So I continued to drink and I continued to drug and I continued to put myself in positions to be harmed and to harm others. It wasn't until all my doors and all my resources and everything around me had shut down that I was forced to sit down and take a look at myself. I'm an alumni of the Women's Healing Place in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm eternally grateful for them. I sat there and I had to look at myself. I had to see what monster I had become and how I had turned so cold, and I had done so many just wicked things to get my next one. It wasn't until I began to look at myself that I no longer could be the victim, that I no longer could blame my mother or my father or my stepbrother that molested me. It wasn't until I began to look at myself that I realized that, hey, Janelle, you may be an alcoholic too. So I got with the people in the healing place, and I just continued to do what they asked me to do. I continued to look at the similarities instead of the differences until I could find my way through. Right now, I am located in Greenville, North Carolina. I just had 4 years sober, and I am working in treatment. So the part of the step that I wanted to talk about was the 12th step. After having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry the message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. Man, that's a big one right there. Like the whole all of our affairs. I fall short a lot of times, and a lot of times I find myself having to make amends because if I don't, I feel beaten and I feel broken inside. And I know that that's the God in me that no longer allows me to harm other people. With me working in recovery, it is really hard for me to distinguish the difference between treatment and recovery. A lot of the people that I'm there to help, I feel like I may be causing them more harm. But I want to be the one that plants the seed of recovery for them. I want to be the one that lets them know that recovery is too possible. That, hey, you're not alone in this fight. That you can do it. And I'm living proof that it can be done.